Okay, so the question today is how to overcome repetitive patterns of thoughts in the mind. This was the question asked by one of the participants in the last week. And now I would like to ask you, you people have been doing the yoga session with me regularly. So please share your opinion so that we can mutually learn from each other. आपको क्या लगता है किस प्रकार से हम हमारे मन में जो रिपीटेटिव बार बार जो पैटर्न्स ऑफ थॉट आता रहता है उससे कैसे उसे ओवरकम कर सकते हैं, उससे बाहर आ सकते हैं? एनीवन? प्लीज अनम्यूट एंड स्पीक.
Sir, by meditation, sir.
Can you elaborate, sir? Meditation means what?
माइंड को काम रख के अपन वो थॉट्स को नहीं आने देते.
Okay, so Bhaskar ji is telling a approach of deep the mind using meditation. Anyone?
हेमंत जी.
Yes sir, yes sir.
हेमंत जी, मेरा अनुभव जो है
हाँ,
वो काफी समय से मेरा कुछ अनुभव है. तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि जो रिपीटेटिव थॉट पैटर्न्स है वो एक कुछ प्रोग्राम अंदर सबकॉन्शियस में बन जाते हैं, उसके कारण से आते रहते हैं. इट मे बी रिलेटेड टू पास्ट और इट मे बी रिलेटेड टू सम फ्यूचर, बट मेनली इन माय एक्सपीरियंस वो पास्ट है. अभी व्हाट आई हैव बीन practicing was observing the breath. Observing the breath. Times I could come out of these repetitive thought patterns. और thoughts के पीछे नहीं जाना है. Let the thoughts come and go. We just focus and put our mind or awareness on the breath. So इससे काफी रिलीफ मिला है मुझे और मिलता है. और इसके अलावा कुछ ऐसे समय में जैसे कि सनसेट टाइम में I find the mind becomes quite calm. Automatically it becomes calm. उस समय विचार शून्य हो जाते हैं and you feel quite stillness, emptiness of mind. मगर ये कुछ समय के लिए होता है. After you come out, after the time is over, again ऐसे thoughts आने शुरू हो जाते हैं. But अभी कितने अंदर थॉट्स हैं और रिपीटेटिव कब आते रहेंगे, इसका अभी भी आते रहते हैं. सो फाइनली कुछ कहना मुश्किल है मेरे लिए.
अनूप जी, आपने बहुत ही सुंदर आंसर दिया है. आपके अनुभव के हिसाब से आपने जवाब दिया है. तो आई वांट टू कांग्रेचुलेट यू फॉर दैट. एनीबडी एल्स?
Hello.
Yes sir, yes sir.
This chanting of shlokas, mantras will divert the mind.
Have you experienced like that, sir?
Yeah. This is Vishnu Sahasra. You continuously concentrate and chant. Your mind will become, the diversion of the mind will become concentrated.
Which you used to chant, sir?
Yeah, it's a Gayatri mantra or this Vishnu Sahasrama. If you suppose your mind is disturbed, if you are concentrated in chanting this mantra, it will calm down.
So this japa chanting need not necessarily be restricted to any religion. You can chant the sound of your own religion. Every religion sound.
Yeah.
So he is talking about using the sound to counter the thoughts. Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Anybody else?
सर, अपना योगा में भी मेरे को ऐसे ही होता सब. अपना योगा क्लास में एक स्टार्टिंग होते एक 5 मिनट्स में आप जो प्रिपरेशन करते हैं ना, जब तक थोड़े थॉट्स आते रहे थे, उसके बाद में मैं इसमें डीपली इन्वॉल्व हो जाता हूँ. अपना कंडीशंस में ही ये वहाँ 40 मिनट्स में कुछ थॉट्स भी नहीं आते सर.
वेरी गुड भास्कर जी.
थैंक यू सर.
Anybody else? Please, whatever that has helped you or you feel you think it would help, because all are scholarly people here.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
So it's obsession compulsion. So as a psychological point of view, we say obsession. Okay, repeated thoughts is coming. We used to teach others thought stop method. For so different people use different method. Okay, for some person they allow the thought to go, it will again increase. And some people, if they try to control the thought, it will stop. So usually what we will do, thought stop technique we will teach. So it's the part of psychotherapy, thought stop. They will tell louder several times. And first psychotherapist, we will tell thought stop, thought stop. They will listen. Then we will check thought is coming or not. Then second, third, fourth time, then they will repeat themselves louder. Then slowly it become internalized for some time. And this is one of the things. Then most of the time when thought repetitively come, they will do compulsive actions. Okay. Doing some compulsion, do positive activity instead of washing the hands, or go for other activities, positive activities. And so thought, some action will reduce the thought. Next, repetitive thought. Repetitive actions, positive actions will reduce the negative thoughts. So these are the few techniques I know.
Thank you. Thank you. So sir, here he has emphasized two important points. One, that you use your intellect to give an instruction to your mind, stop thought. And for some time it may reduce. And if you gradually practice, your intellect may help you. And the other way is that he said that the body, the speed of the body is inversely proportional to the speed of the mind. The slower the body, the more fast the mind becomes. But the faster the body, the slow is the process of the thinking process in the mind. It calms down. Yes, Raghunathji, you would like to say something? Please tell. Please unmute, sir. You are muted. Please unmute. Yes.
So for me, Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam is the one that actually removes the repetitive thoughts very often.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Kambam Raghunathji found pranayama very useful. Very good.
Sir, this is Malini.
Yes, Malini ji.
What yoga we are doing daily now in the morning, that has helped me to calm down my mind and just keep cool throughout the day. As at the end, we intend to do that. I mean, we just tell our mind that we have to keep this mind in the same status and all that.
Yeah.
So that has helped me a lot.
Oh. Yeah. So this practice itself, that you maintain this calmness throughout the day, that has helped you. Thank you, Malini ji. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Lalita here.
Yes.
Yes, sir. One is, yes, I agree with the person who said earlier, breathing with awareness is very important. But the other part is, we should not also suppress repetitive thoughts. Let it come, be aware of it, and try to overcome it. Suppressing the thought would only create more stress. I think that's how I try to handle it. Do not try to escape from the thought. Just take it. It's okay if it repeats, but breathe and overcome. That's how I address it.
Lalita ji, you have put up a very important and beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. It's all your guidance and your practices. Thank you, sir.
Sir, namaskar.
Namaste, sir. Sardana, sir. Please, sir. We are waiting to hear you.
Okay. Sir, I have suffered a lot because of this obsessive compulsive neurosis, what we call in medical terminology. I think one way is not to suffer by keeping the thoughts to yourself. It's better to speak out. If you have difference with somebody, talk in a very peaceful manner without putting any allegation or making him feel responsible for your thoughts. It's always better to speak out. It's very bad to suffer in silence and not talking. That's very important to open your mind and speak out. Whatever it is, it's your brother, mother, sister, wife, son, child, whatever it is. You should talk coolly and calmly without making them aware that they are cause of your problem. This is one thing. Because keeping emotions suppressed is very bad. That won't help you out. You must speak out, whatever it is. I have been speaking to myself. I used to get up in the early morning, and the first thought came to my mind is, why it happened so with me? I suffered for about 2 years. Then gradually things resolved of their own with time, because time is a great healer. But then things became normal. But I think it's better to speak, better to talk. That's very important. Let out your emotions. Don't keep them suppressed. They will trouble you a lot. They will keep on coming again and again. And these yoga practices we are doing is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I really feel bad that people don't realize it. They just listen and just let it go as such. They never understand the depth. They never try to do it. They don't experience the feelings or benefits you are getting after associating with you, sir. At least we have transformed. I myself have transformed. And as an indirect effect, my practice has gone up. I want to relax. I want to decrease my workload, but it has gradually gone up because my focus has increased. I see what others don't see. What others leave, I find that. So focus becomes that. Your concentration improves, your focus improves, and you listen to the person very carefully, and he is telling you the diagnosis. So things change entirely. You remain calm throughout the day, as ma'am was saying. You remain more productive. You are more concentrated and more do more benefit to your patients or to anybody who comes in contact with you. The thought process changes. Money becomes secondary. It's just a fallout. We are not working to earn money. We're just working a karma. That's what we are doing. Somebody is getting the karma done through us. That's the thing. And with the yoga practice we are following from morning, it's really wonderful. Really, really wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sardana sir. It is always wonderful to listen to your practical experiences. I see, has become more regular practices, and his involvement also you can feel. So really, very, very congratulations to you, sir. Sir has brought up an important point here that if you are getting certain thoughts that with some emotions that you have not been able to express, it is important to peacefully, calmly, express it out, and in such a way that it does not agitate the person in front of you, it does not agitate you, but in that way we should try to express those emotions. Yes, so I agree with that. Anybody else, any other comments or any other views before we go into the ancient texts?
So I also consider, after calming down my mind, to rationalize my thoughts, whether what I'm thinking is true or not, or is it another way to think about the same thing. So sometimes I find that in an agitated state, I may have assumed certain things or certain thoughts come into mind, which may not always be true. So this is another way in which I deal with these repetitive thoughts.
So Preeti ji, there's this subtler power of intellect to ask, whether these thoughts that I'm getting, they are actually true or not, or I'm getting unnecessarily bothered. Using the intellect to dissect what is behind this pattern of thought. Wonderful, madam. So in fact, this is so wonderful. Among you, there are Raj Yogis, there are Bhakti Yogis, there are Jnana Yogis. People who spoke about using the breath. They are Raj Yogis. They believe in the practice to overcome this problem. People who spoke about sharing their emotions, they are Bhakti Yogis. They are using their emotions, emotional culturing, their bond people to overcome this. And people who are talking about deeper aspects of stop thought and these aspects, like what Preeti ji, they are using the intellect, which is so. These approaches have been discussed so far. Anybody with any other experience?
Hemant sir, this is Vaishali.
Yes, Vaishali ji.
I was just reading somewhere on this, and in fact, I started practicing also. And first of all, I'm happy that I have so many people to share this with. The one technique could be that you become a statue for 15 seconds or 15 counts, and just observe your breath. Don't do anything, and don't think on anything. Just observe your breath for 15 counts, and automatically those thoughts will go away. And then you have to make that attempt to keep concentrating on your breath, so that you don't get into that loop of thoughts again and again. So in fact, when I practiced it, it really helped me also. So I think that could help others also.
Super, man. So statue for 15 seconds. One. Yes, Suryaji, yes.
Sir, I'd like to share that sometimes when I get this repetitive thought patterns, it's not that I want to bring it on, but some circumstances around me, they make me get into that. So say, for example, in work, many times it happens, you give some certain instructions or we've discussed with the other party, and then they send you something which is totally, again, which was not discussed. Then I get into this repetitive mode. Have I gone wrong in my communication? Why do these things keep happening to me? Exactly what Mr. Shashiji shared. And then I feel that this has an adverse reaction to my body. It leads to stress. Then I get a headache or something, some physical bad things happen to my body. And then I'm like, okay, just let it go. I will stop this. And then when I analyze the situation and then I try to calm myself, then it is better for me. So then I deep breathing that you've been teaching us over these past 2 years. And then, yes, it's not just only theory, but when you actually put it into action, it has helped me to a certain extent. But somehow I'm not able to do away with this completely. I know it's going to take time. So this is what I have learned, how to stop it at that point of time, because then my emotions makes me very angry and hyper. And then when I do deep breathing and then I give myself a signal, let it go, things will sort themselves out. Then I'm at peace. This is what I wanted to share.
Okay, so for Surya, it is the breathing, deep breathing, and using the intellect to tell the mind, let go. With time, it will take care of it, cut it out. That kind of suggestion. Okay. Yes.
Morning.
Have raised the hand.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I usually do becoming aware of the thought patterns and really becoming like an observer. Observing what thoughts are coming in the mind and then getting engaged in something constructive, like chanting or learning something new, and observing and regular use of yoga and pranayama meditation, and also concentrating on the blessings what I have rather than thinking about what went wrong. Blessings in life, more concentrate on that than other things.
So very beautiful point brought forth by madam, that you have two approaches here. One is that you focus your mind towards something positive, your own blessings, and on the other side you use these techniques to overcome. Wonderful. So anybody else? Fine. So let us look at the yogic wisdom, the traditional wisdom of yoga. When these kind of questions were asked, what may be answered by the yogis. So this is the sloka from Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter. Chanchal manah Krishna. Chanchal Krishna pramathi balvad dridham tasyaham nigraham manye vayo rivasu dushkaram. Now Arjuna is asking this question to Krishna. Arjuna was greatest of the warrior of that time. He could, throw an arrow by listening to the sound. His concentration was so much. वो शब्द भेदी बाण चलाते थे. जहां से आवाज आई, आंखों पे पट्टी बांध के वहां पे बाण, he could, hit the arrow. That much concentration this person had. And he is telling Krishna that mind is so restless. Controlling it to me appears like I have to control the wind. It means it is almost impossible for me. That is the argument that Arjuna gives. And what does Krishna reply? In the very next shloka, Krishna says, Asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihiyate. So he says, definitely you are correct, it is difficult, but you have the potential. He calls him Mahabaho. You are mighty armed. It means that you have the power in you. By practice of, by doing abhyasa and vairagya, practice and detachment, it can happen. Now, this is very, very important, you know, and I am so glad to know that people here, whoever discussed, they spoke about both the approaches. You spoke about various practices, whether they are intellectual practices, whether they are breathing practices, whether they are emotion release practices. And you also spoke about detachment, not, you know, to be able to watch the thoughts as an observer, or to be able to let go at the same time. Similarly, when we look at Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, there also we get in the first chapter, 12th shloka, Patanjali also says, Abhyas vairagya bhyam tan nirodhaha. By practice and dispassion, the repetitive patterns of modification of the mind can be managed. So Patanjali, when you go further, you know, when you talk about abhyasa, he gives some other techniques in the first chapter. He says, Tat pratishedartham ekatattva abhyasaha. They can be removed by practice of one subject, bringing only one thing into the mind, concentrating on only one object. You know, whether you use a candle flame and focus your eyes on the light of the candle, or you look at the sunrise or sunset, or you look at a flower, or you just focus on the sounds around you. Only one thing should remain in the mind. By doing that ekatattva abhyasa, you can remove that. This is technique number 1 prescribed by Patanjali. Number 2, he says that for cultivating the emotions, what kind of attitude a person should have, you know, in when we meet people who are in different kind of situations. By doing this, chitta prasadanam happen, the mind becomes tranquil. By doing what? Adopting an attitude of maitri or friendliness towards those who are happy. Maitri towards sukha. Karuna, compassion towards those who are in a state of dukkha, or those who are suffering. Number 3, mudita. Mudita is a feeling of gladness. You know, you praise that person where you see something good, punya. When somebody is doing something good, you show gladness and praise that person. That is mudita. Whereas when you see something apunya, when you see something negative, then the attitude that Patanjali tells is the attitude of indifference. So, uski taraf dhyan hi mat dijiye. So by this way, the chitta slowly, you know, this kind of attitude, if you practice, it can become tranquil. This happens, no? When we get up in the morning, the first thing we see is go to the online newspaper headlines, and what attracts our mind, you know, by tendency is the negative news. We start reading the negative news early in the morning every day, and that is not the correct attitude. We should focus on the punya. We should have that gladness or praising thing towards the positivity. So this is the attitude that Patanjali talks. And the third practice that Patanjali suggests is prachardan vidaranabhyam va pranasya. By throwing out and restraining the breath out, the mind can be calmed. So this is what we do when we do Kapalabhati. What you are doing is you are throwing the breath out, and by doing 30 to 60, you know, depending on the speed of the mind, you can increase the speed of Kapalabhati. So the more intense you feel the thought pattern is, the more intense you make your breathing. Pull your abdomen in, throw the breath out. If that is difficult, do Bhastrika, just using the chest. But what you are doing is forcefully throwing the breath out. And then at the end of it, your breath may just remain out, and you stop it and remain like that. And then, as some madam was suggesting, you become a statue after that. This is another technique. So I'm telling you one technique for each yoga. This is the Raj Yoga technique. Maitri Karuna Mudita is Bhakti Yoga technique. And before that, Ek Tattva Abhyasa was a technique for Jnana Yogis. There is another technique for Jnana Yoga, that is Vitaraga Vishayam Vachittam. In those moments, bringing the image, the memory of those kind of people who are Vitaraga, means the people who are untouched by the attachment to the sense object, people who are focused on some higher principle and higher goal in their life. Bring them into your mind. It can be anybody, your own, deity. You can bring, say, you just imagine, अगर आपको देवी पे आप पूजा करते हैं तो just आंखें बंद करें और ये सोचें, अगर मेरी जगह पे माँ काली होती तो वो क्या करती? If at my place Kali, Ma Kali would have been there, what she would have done? If at my place Shiva was there, what he would have done? If at my place Krishna was there, what he would have done? अगर मेरी जगह पे मदर टेरेसा होती, अगर अब्दुल कलाम होते, मेरी जगह पे रमन महर्षि होते, so you just bring those people in your situation and focus on your mind. Try to become one with their heart and see if they were here, what they would do. And you will see that your thought patterns will move towards their energy. You will connect with their energy, and that energy will dispel, these patterns of thought that are there. These are beautiful shlokas that are coming from ancient text. This is all about abhyasa. But then please remember that you need two wings. You need abhyasa and you also need vairagya. What is this vairagya? Vairagya is the ability to completely let go. That kind of aversion that we have towards this thought, वो नहीं होना चाहिए. You should not have any aversion. They are also just patterns of energy. Energy is neutral. So, I would like to ask Ishuji, who has asked this question. So, madam, why do you want to get rid of it? This is the question I want to ask you. Ishuji, are you there?
Actually, I have OCD problem. That's why I want to get rid of this problem. I have OCD from last 1.5 years.
Yeah.
सर इसमें रिपीटेड थॉट्स मुझे आते ही रहते हैं सर, डिस्टर्बिंग थॉट्स, बहुत ही इंटेंस थॉट्स होते हैं जिसमें मैं बिलीव कर लेता हूँ कि मैं पास्ट में हूँ और कन्वर्सेट कर रहा हूँ अपने कुछ पास्ट के दोस्तों से, जिसमें काफी ह्यूमिलेशंस मुझे वो बियर करने पड़ते हैं. तो बहुत ही डिस्टर्बिंग और स्ट्रेसफुल और बहुत ही डिप्रेसिंग हो जाता है ये सब मेरे लिए.
सो ईशू जी के लिए ये प्रॉब्लम इसलिए वो इससे छूटना चाहते हैं क्योंकि इट इज वेरी डिस्ट्रेसिंग फॉर हिम. ये उनके लिए बहुत डिप्रेसिंग और नेगेटिव और डिस्ट्रेसिंग हो जाता है. तो पहली बात ईशू जी मैं आपसे बताना चाहता हूँ कि इसको थॉट को आप इंटेलेक्चुअली शार्प हैं, आप अपने इंटेलेक्ट का यूज कीजिए और आप ये देखिए कि दीज आर नथिंग बट थॉट. ये थॉट के अलावा कुछ भी नहीं है. जैसे हवा दाएं से बाएं बहती है, बाएं से दाएं बहती है और हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ता, ऐसे ही थॉट इधर से उधर, उधर से उधर जा रहा है. वो सिर्फ एक हवा है जिसका कोई आपको स्पर्श नहीं रहा है. आप जितना उससे राग या द्वेष को जोड़ेंगे, जितना आप उससे एवर्सिव रहेंगे, जितना आप उसको पकड़ेंगे या उसको छोड़ने के लिए आप बेताब हो जाएंगे, तो उतना उस थॉट को पावर मिलता है. इसलिए आपको उसको एक न्यूट्रल मोड में लाके छोड़ देना है. ना वो आपको उससे कोई लगाव है, ना उससे आपको नफरत है. आप न्यूट्रल मोड में आ जाइए. अभी आप कैसे मोड में हैं? You are repulsive towards it. So first thing is you should come to the center. Center में ही solution है. Solution right में या left में कभी नहीं. तो पहले center में आ जाइए. These are thoughts. They are flowing like air. Like you watch the traffic sitting. गाड़ियां आती रहती है, जाती रहती है. आपका कोई लेना देना नहीं. आप I am not the body. I am not the mind. Just a neutral observer. Oh, no attachment to anything, no aversion to anything. This is nothing but energy. Energy has नो कलर, इट इज कलरलेस। इसके सारे रंगों से, इन विचारों को जितनी भी भावनाओं से आपने इसको जोड़ा है, जो भी इमोशंस को आपको जोड़ा है, उस इमोशन को भी एनर्जी बना दीजिए और उसे न्यूट्रल कर दीजिए। ये विचार न्यूट्रल है, ये एनर्जी है। ये भावनाएं जो उससे जुड़ी है वो न्यूट्रल है, वो एनर्जी है। और इसके बाद, इस मोड में आने के बाद, आप ये जो बताए हुए अभ्यास हैं, इसमें से जो भी आपको सूट होता है उस अभ्यास को अपने जीवन में अपनाइए। और आपके जेनेटिक टेंडेंसी के हिसाब से आपको कोई एक टेक्निक सूट कर जाएगी, आप उस टेक्निक को बार बार करते जाइए। अभ्यास फिर वैराग्य, फिर अभ्यास फिर वैराग्य। इस तरीके से आप इस जर्नी में आगे बढ़ सकते हैं और इस पैटर्न से छुटकारा पा सकते हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच।